In this exercise, we'll use the trim surface function to trim back surfaces prior to creating a bridge surface between them. Since the surfaces have a small gap between them, creating a bridge surface between the edges results in a sharp transition. The transition is shown here. To avoid this, we'll first trim both surfaces back to provide more room for the transition. We'll use ISO curves on the surfaces as the trimming entities. This will give us more space to make a smoother transition. Using the bridge surface tool, we'll then make a smooth transition surface between the two original surfaces, and our final transition surface will look like this. So let's work with an actual file. Open sample file KCV hybrid9.ckd. We'll use the near ISO view. The bridge surface here is too abrupt. To avoid this, we're going to click on Render Wire, and then we're going to work with the two surfaces down at the left. We need cross curves on this surface first, so we're going to click on the Modify Flow Lines icon, and we're going to enter 4 for the number of V lines on cones and cylinders, and then select that surface. Notice the surface is now displayed with the extra ISO curves. So let's click on the Trim Surface tool. We want to select Curves on Surface, click on OK, pick on the left end of that surface, and then on that curve, and click on Accept. See, the surface trims back to that curve. Pick on that side of the surface and then that curve, click on Accept, and now that surface is trimmed back. Let's render Gerard with wire again. Now let's pick on the bridge surface icon. We'll use the default options. We'll select this surface and this edge, and now this surface and this edge. We want to make sure that the vectors follow in the same direction. Click on Accept for each case. Then click on Accept again. You can adjust the fullness if you desire. And when you're done, we get a surface that looks like this and is much less abrupt than the one up to the right. So let's recap. In this exercise, we used the Trim Surface function to trim back surfaces prior to creating a bridge surface. Since the surfaces had a small gap between them, creating a bridge surface between the edges gave us a sharp transition. It looked like this, and that was unacceptable. To avoid this, we first trim back both surfaces to provide more room for the transition. We used ISO curves on the surfaces as the trimming entities. This gave us more space to make the smoother transition. We then used the bridge surface to make that transition surface. And our final model looked like this.